South Africa is such an amazing sporting nation. And I'm not surprised. I'm not being pompous that we expected IPL to be, we watched as much as it was done in India, and etc., though we hope it is. But I'm not surprised. I think the way the people here are in South Africa, there is a huge positivity for anything new, for anything entertaining, anything sporting. So it's something I accepted and expected, but what has surprised me is the ease with which they've allowed DLF, IPL and Dalit to come down here and set this up in such a short time with all the infrastructure, logistical problems. So for that, really thank you. I mean, all of us, on behalf of all the franchise owners, we all sat in a meeting when essentially this call was taken, and none of us believed this will take off in this wonderful manner. So I really, representing all the 7 owners and everyone related to IPL, I really thank South Africa for allowing this to happen.
Just to add to that is that we were so overwhelmed with the demand for tickets, and when we went on sale, our ticketing partner, CompuTicket, said that called me up in the morning of the tickets when they went on sale and said in 2 hours flat out they were sold out of the allocation that we had made to them. Keeping in mind that the level of enthusiasm out here, we worked with the city and we were able to increase the capacities, and today we put out another 5,000 tickets on sale by increasing the capacities and then adjusting more seating, and also taking out a lot of the reserve seating that we had internally for ourselves and team. And we actually sat with every franchise owner and actually counted the number of seats that everybody wanted, and wanted to make sure that each and every seat that was available is not kept back by us and actually put back to the fans that are able to watch it. And we have put all the seats in the market that are possible to be put in the market from our side, and we worked with Newlands, with the box owners and everybody else, and freed up everything. And on that basis, we were able to allocate that. That's why you saw big lines today at Newlands, and I'm told that pretty much everybody is being able to get what they want.
Mr. Modi, when do you think the IPL franchises, or when do you think you would start pushing the IPL franchises to start building their own stadiums? Yankees are moving into their new $1.4 billion stadium in New York this season. We would love to see KKR having its own stadium in Calcutta.
We're working on that. That's why I don't have money to buy the English players.
Okay.
The model of IPL is quite different to the model that is adopted by the majority of the leagues around the world. Yes, it's always nice building a fancy multi-billion-dollar or multi-million-dollar stadium. But at the end of the day, it's a cost. At the end of the day, somebody has to pay for it. At the end of the day, the fan ends up paying for it one way or the other, or a sponsor ends up paying for it one way or the other. And you build $1 billion stadium, you're going to amortize that over X number of years. Yes, you may get some money from naming rights, but then at the end of the day, the ticket pricing is going to reflect the $1 billion stadium. We, as the BCCI and IPL, are custodians of cricket in India. Our objective and our job is to build better facilities and infrastructure in our country. All monies that are earned by the BCCI and IPL are going to raise that standard and build stadiums. Yes, some franchises may want to build their own stadium, and that's something that they have to look at, but it doesn't financially make it a viable proposition at all. At the end of the day, you have 7, maybe 10 or 12 home games in a year. How do you sustain a stadium, $1 billion stadium, for 10, 12, 15 days in a year? If we as the BCCI or IPL are able to provide modern facilities and are provided to the owners in India and utilize those capacities and those stadiums for their matches, it makes economic sense, without doubt. And that is why if you look at the balance sheet of the Yankees, or you look at the Dallas Cowboys balance sheet, and actually you analyze that balance sheet, you will look at the depreciation cost of interest is a single largest component of their cost. So when you look at the revenue side and profitability side, the chances of them making profit is going to be far down the line. And that also at $1,000, $1,500 a pop, and average ticket pricing at $100 to $150. When you have a market at $5, $10, $15, $20 and you want to build that market at that pricing, yes, you may have a few seats at $1,000. It's very difficult to sustain $1 billion stadium. At the same time, we're not saying that we as PCCI should be doing it. We are doing that. And our job is to create modern infrastructure, and we will do that. But that's why, if you look at all franchises around the world and all sporting leagues around the world, not many make profit. Many have a very high valuation perception because there's limited commodity and limited number of teams available or the merchandise is there. I guarantee you this, that by end of this year, all 8 teams in India are making a profit. Now we have moved offshore, but all 8 teams are going to make profit. Now which league in the world will show that all the teams in a league are going to make profit? People have paid huge amount of money, close to $100 million for a team, but they're going to end up making a profit. So they're going to be able to buy better players, and the single largest cost for the teams is going to be player cost, and we want that to remain that. We don't want it to be infrastructure. That's our job. So I want everybody to be profitable, value of the teams going up, and that's what it's all about. The question being asked by the media again and again to me was, how is the IPL recession-proof? We've shown that we are recession-proof by the fact that we keep adding value. And if we add value to the owners, to the sponsors, to the broadcaster, people will come back and pay more for it. It's a limited commodity, and that's what it's all about.
While you're talking about economics, is there a figure on turnover for the IPL?
We don't like to give that out, but we will, we are not a profit. We don't make a profit, in other words. 80% of the revenues that we earn goes back to the team owners in one way or the other. Number one. Number two is that whatever we do earn is deployed back into the game, into infrastructure, etc. So if you're looking at a tournament profit as such, I mean, I've not been able to calculate the tournament profit for this year because we've just moved, our expenses have gone up dramatically, without doubt. And that's not something that we are focused on. Our focus is to be delivering a quality game, with quality experience to the fans and teams and cricketers and everybody alike. And that's what we focus on. So that's why we're not looking at, what the bottom line is for each game, or whether we should be, spending more money on advertising, promotion, or